Hello and welcome to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. I'm your host, Sally Thibault. Today we're talking the top tips to stay healthy and stress-free over Easter. Doesn't it feel like there is never a dull moment? Ever. At the moment. And for those of us here in southeast Queensland and some people in northern New South Wales, not only are we a little bit of upheaval in regards to Easter plans, but boy, what a difference from last week, even weather-wise. It certainly is never a dull moment. And, just 2021 is the year that just kind of keeps on giving. Today's show is all about how to stay healthy and stress-free over Easter. And I'm also going to add, stay healthy and stress-free no matter what happens. Because, as you know, every time that you are in those places of uncertainty, overwhelm, unpredictability, or stress, it increases the impact on your body, stress levels in your body, and of course leads to the laying down of visceral belly fat, which I've talked about heaps of times on this show. It's the thing we as women need to be really, really focused on right now, and that's cutting down on the amount of visceral fat in our body, because visceral fat has been linked to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, some cancers, and of course, 7% more likely to experience severe challenges or issues with COVID if you happen to contract it, and about 164% more likely to end up in ICU. So it's really important that you are focused on your health all this time. And my thing this year is I'm really focused on visceral fat. And, subcutaneous fat is different. It's the fat we all carry of eating a few things too much and perhaps not exercising the way we should. But it's no big deal, a couple of extra pounds, no big deal. The issue is visceral fat, and that's what we have to stay focused on, because that can help ensure that your immunity stays high. Remember, we're going into winter. And if anything that's, we should really learn that happened this weekend here in Queensland, at least on Monday, I think it started, 2 or 3 cases and we're locked down. Welcome to winter. So looking after your health now is critical. Help you get through winter, because guess what winter's going to look like? I hope you're planning to write that book, renovate your house, whatever it's going to be, because that's where it's going to be. I have kids living in Canada. They've been locked down for so long now, and in Vancouver in particular, they've gone back down. They've shut down the restaurants again. You can only eat outside. All dance classes, group exercise classes have all been cancelled for 3 weeks. So that's what they're like at the moment in the winter. We can expect pretty similar here. Your health is your responsibility. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's show, and how you do that over Easter and not go without Easter eggs and hot cross buns. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, I do want to do a big shout out to the sponsor of our show, NAS Cosmetics. Now, tonight, NAS Cosmetics, Jen Hines, is doing a big launch tonight. Very, very exciting part of their business. They will be launching how you can also, if you are looking for another option for a career, NAS Cosmetics now is offering you the ability to become one of their workshop leaders, have your own business with the amazing support of Jen, and very, very exciting. So if you're interested, you say, I love cosmetics, I love makeup, I'd love to do something that's not a multi-level, by the way. It's not multi-level. This is actually, you are actually, will have your own business. So click on that link, facebook.com/NAS Cosmetics, and find out more of the launch, as I said, tonight. And very, very exciting. When I spoke to Jen yesterday, they're very, very excited with the number of people who have already signed up for the launch. And can I just say this? Jen is one of those people that is, she's just got a big heart. And she's developed a fabulous range of cosmetics that are cruelty-free, no chemicals in them, purely Australian made, and she created them. So if it's something you're looking for and you're thinking, oh gosh, we might go into lockdown and I need a new career, check that out tonight. All right, let's get on to the show. We're going to be talking about Visceral Fat Busters over Easter, so you can still eat your chocolates and your hot cross buns. Let me know in the comments, do you like Easter eggs? Do you like hot cross buns? Let me know in the comments if that's something that you kind of like. We haven't bought an Easter egg in this family since my children left, which is about 5 years ago, 6 years ago now. So we haven't had any Easter eggs. I do like a nice piece of chocolate, I must say. So don't let that go. And even though I love the smell of hot cross buns, they're not very good for me. They don't agree with me very well. I'm going to share with you how that all came about in a minute. So let's look at strategy number 1, shall we, for the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program, and that is to eat consciously. What does that mean? Eating consciously means that you become very aware of the food that you eat. It's about creating an intention around how you want to feel, how you want to eat, creating a vision around it, committing to action to do so. But I'm going to share with you now one aspect again. Some of you have been on the show before, have heard this before, but I want to share with you one of the aspects to eating consciously, and that's the 4 steps to intuitive eating. And the reason I want to share this with you again, because this is, as you get going through Easter with all the wonderful foods that you're probably going to have, this is the way that you can literally have your eggs and eat it too. You can do both. You can eat the Easter eggs and you can still not impact on your health and wellness goals. All right, first aspect to steps to intuitive eating, and that's to allow yourself to eat anything you want. Now, I want you there's 2 words here, allow and want. Those 2 words are really critical to this process. If you're the type of person who has watched your weight, maybe you've practiced restrictive eating or you've been on a certain type of diet eating protocol, it's a really difficult place to be in a space where you're giving yourself permission to have anything you want. Now, the reason being is that when you're in restriction, you always come with that, oh, well, I'll be good today and then I'll eat tomorrow, or I've screwed up today, I'm going to, eat properly tomorrow. Einstein's theory of relativity, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every diet, there's an equal opposite binge. In order to get rid of that totally, we have to be giving ourselves permission to eat anything you want, not you need. And the allow is so critical here because, as I said, if you've been on restrictive diets, you've not really been able to give yourself permission to eat. You've followed somebody else's protocol. And I find for many women, those 2 words, I allow and want, are just huge. They're big triggers. What do you mean I allow myself to anything I want? Number 1, want, does that mean I'm selfish? What gives me the right? Who do I think I am? All that stuff. It's just old stories you're telling yourself. And allowing is like, a lot of people would say to me, oh, but if I allowed myself to anything I want, will I just eat everything? No, you won't. You binge because you've been restricting yourself. That's the difference. So the next part, critical part, is what does my body really need and want? Not what my head says. Most times we're making decisions about food based on knowledge in our heads, not on our intuition. For many of you on this show today, you will have had children. You didn't think how that baby was growing. You had no part of it. Well, at the beginning and the end. But in the meantime, that baby just grew without you even thinking about it. Your body took over. So your body actually knows what it needs and wants. The problem is we put our own thoughts on it. We say, oh, I can't have that because it's X. It's fattening, it's calorie, too much this, too much that. But your body will always tell you what it needs and wants. On a physiological level, it will tell you need, when you get thirsty, you need water to drink. The body tells you that. When you get hungry, you need food. But we've created this whole series of kind of checks and balances. But when you get into the process of saying, what does my body really need and want? What do my body just let go of all the rules? It's amazing. Your body will tell you what it needs and wants. The second part is to affirm, I honor the choices my body requires. The more you do that, the more your body will support you in the choices. It's like going to the gym. And when you first start, it feels a bit weird, when you're lifting a weight. But eventually the muscles have memory and you know what to do. Same thing as when you affirm the choices that your body's telling you, then eventually it just becomes so natural to you. And as I've mentioned many times, I learned this from my husband because, he sits there when we're at a restaurant and we always say to the waitress, make him last, will you? Because, he takes forever because he'll always go, what do I really feel like? Do I like that or do I want that? Let me think. Wait a minute. What do I feel like? He does it all the time. It's just a great way to be. And then acknowledge. Okay, here's the key. Okay, is to acknowledge how the food makes your body feel. I want to go back to when I was talking about the hot cross buns a minute ago. I love the smell of hot cross buns. Oh my gosh, they smell so good, when they're toasting. But if I eat them, I know I don't feel good afterwards. I just don't. And so it's enough for me to say, even though I love the smell, I really want to have one. I really don't want to have one right now. I don't want to feel like that. It sits in the pit of my stomach, makes me feel lousy, makes me want to go and lie down for a little while, all that high processed carbohydrates. So when it comes to the Easter food and there's Easter eggs in front of you, just go through. I now allow myself to eat anything I want. What does my body really feel like? I choose to honor the messages my body sends. How does eating this chocolate make me feel? And when you eat the chocolate, allow yourself to have it and enjoy it. And then sit with it. And which leads me to the fifth principle in the conscious eating part, which is the implementation part. And the 4 steps of that are plan, prepare, pace, present. So the thing with chocolate is that so much of the chocolate we buy in the supermarkets is not real chocolate. It's just sugar. It's just sugar. When your body desires chocolate, it's searching for the cocoa. It's searching for the chocolate hit. But the chocolate, the cheap Easter eggs or even the Cadbury ones, they're not real chocolate, not really. You're far better off, to look at ethically sourced chocolate. You'll find Dara Lee, I think now, is ethically sourced chocolate. So it's coming, we're not using child slavery to pick the beans. So it's ethically sourced chocolate. So look for that. Secondly, buy the good stuff, unless you've got kids, little kids, and you're doing a big Easter egg hunt. But for you, buy one good one made with ethically sourced chocolate that's real chocolate, and your body will respond to that. So make sure you're planning it ahead. Thirdly, pace. Enjoy it. Don't inhale it. Enjoy the chocolate. There's nothing nicer than good, well-made chocolate. And of course, I don't know where we have homemade chocolate around here, but I know in Melbourne, when I was in Melbourne, there's some great places downtown in Melbourne that make their own chocolate, just beautiful. So eat the chocolate and enjoy it. Don't eat it and feel guilty about it. That's when you eat too much and you don't taste it. So be present, eat it, enjoy it, and be fully present when you're enjoying it. Absolutely enjoy it. Hey, Katerina, sorry I'm late. Oh, nice to see you again, Katerina. Lovely that you are here. It's okay. That's okay. It's lovely that you're here. All right, there we go. Next one. So that's plan, prepare, pace. When you're eating that chocolate, enjoy it. Challenge yourself to take a little bit, really enjoy it, wait a little bit, taste another bit. Do you know, in my experience in working with clients when they want to release the weight that no longer serves them is most will tell me they inhale food. They don't eat it. They'll walk around the house grabbing things, or they'll eat really quickly. And I think that's a lot to do with mothering. Eat quickly because there's other things you've got to do. You're eating in the car because that's the only time you've got. But enjoy it, really enjoy it, and use that intuitive eating. I now allow myself to eat anything I want. What does my body really need? I affirm the choices my body makes. How does this make me feel? Next one, number 2, fasting intermittently. It is so easy to do intermittent fasting over Easter. We were in Melbourne on the weekend, and of course we had a lot of pub food, pizza and what else did we have when we were out? Chips and salt and pepper calamari and stuff like that. And so in order to, and I knew that's what was going to happen. So in order to do that, I just skipped breakfast and fasted intermittently. Simple. We've got friends coming for lunch Saturday and Sunday this week. We're just fasting intermittently. So I will finish dinner the night before around 7. And then I might, by 11:30, I'll have a protein smoothie or something with protein in it, and then just eat normally. Fasting intermittently is so easy, and it's so good for you. Oh my gosh, the new studies coming out about intermittent fasting, but it's got to be done correctly. You must come out of it with a good protein. So even if you had a light salmon salad, egg on toast, something like that, make sure you've got a protein, you're drinking lots of water. But it's brilliant to use over the Easter time, fasting intermittently. You can do 12-hour fast, or you can do a 16-hour fast, which is the one I like. I find that really easy to do. And the thing about intermittent fasting, I do want to say this, it does not mean you can eat whatever you want in that 8-hour window of eating, nor does it mean it should restrict your calories. You should be still eating well in that 8-hour window, but ensuring that you are giving yourself that 12 hours or 16 hours to give your body time to digest and we call it the rest. It gives your body a chance to rest, especially if you're eating kind of food you don't normally eat. All right, number 3, exercise purposefully. There's no reason why you can't go for a walk. This Easter, do some push-ups. When you're walking, of course, remember that 20-second HIIT. So walk for 20 minutes. In the first 10 minutes, go as hard and fast as you can for the first 20 seconds. Walk 10 minutes back, do exactly the same thing. So that's adding the HIIT. Add a couple of push-ups, some tricep dips on the back of a coffee table, some planks, and some stretching. You're done. And that's exercising purposely. It doesn't have to take a long time. But ensuring that you are exercising well and purposefully, as I mentioned, is just that's the recipe to reduce visceral belly fat. So fasting intermittently and exercising purposefully are the keys. And, of course, the last one is sleep soundly. So ensuring over the Easter time that you are getting a good night's sleep, and that would mean you are not eating chocolate just before you go to bed. You are not drinking wine just before you go to bed. That if you're having Easter eggs and you're having hot cross buns, especially chocolate sweets, make sure you've got about 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed, because that sugar spike will cause a spike in your insulin levels and blood sugar levels, and then the drop will wake you up, because when the blood sugar levels rise and fall, what balances the fall in blood sugar levels is cortisol, and that's why you wake up. It wakes you up 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't get back to sleep again. So it's really important that you are ensuring that if you're eating those chocolate Easter eggs, enjoy them, you're not having them just before you go to bed. Oh, quite a few comments. Let me have a look. Susan, yep, inhale chocolate. So true. Yeah, that's right. I know, Susan, exactly. And that's the thing, is that if you stop and just enjoy it, and, I'm going to eat anything I want. What does my body feel? I'm going to take the time to enjoy this. When it's guilt-ridden and you're thinking, I shouldn't be eating this, that's when we get that kind of, taking it forward. Yeah, simple. Actually, right, Katerina. It's not like we're starving. You know, it's really interesting about, this is just a sideline, but there's a lot of people in the, let me say, the diet space, dietitians I'm talking about, that don't agree with intermittent fasting. And yet it's been around for centuries. The Catholics do it in preparation for Easter. Muslims do it during Ramadan. The Buddhists fast. It's been around for centuries. And I saw a recent interview on Dave Asprey, and it's a great one to follow if you're interested in intermittent fasting. A guy called Dave Asprey, Asprey. He was interviewing an 80-year-old woman who has been fasting intermittently for 60 years, and she looked amazing, absolutely amazing. And of course, you know, that's how the original farmers were. They didn't the original you know, back the can't think of the name of it, but you know, people who walk the land. They fasted. That's what they did. They didn't sit down for 3 meals a day plus snacks. We don't need 3 meals a day plus snacks. We don't. We've got plenty. Susan, there's a great one, Nutra Organics, Nutra, Nutra Organics. I'm not sure where you are, but you can get that from, that's a girl that makes it, I think, is on the Gold Coast. I love their protein powder. You know, I've tried a lot over the years, and some of it's awful. This is really nice. Nutra Organics protein powder. Most health food stores in Australia do stock it, but you can pop online and they do deliver. But we use that all the time. Some great varieties. I make my own almond milk, and then 2 scoops of the protein powder, a banana, and ice, and I put some greens in it. To add some extra to it, and then I'll make mine. And when Jerry's finished his, I always add cacao powder because it tastes like a chocolate milkshake. He doesn't like chocolate, so that's my little way of getting a chocolate shake. But the as I said, Nutra, Nutra, Nutra Organics, they're great. And Katerina, love walking. Yeah, the best exercise you can do, Katerina, the best, and especially as we age. That's the one thing that we can do that has little impact on our hips and our knees, and also keeps you walking without with lower risk of injury. So it's brilliant. I'm a great believer that as we get older, we shouldn't be doing anything that is high impact on our bodies. We just shouldn't. We, you know, as we get, you know, I was a fitness instructor for how many years? 15 years. I jumped up and down on concrete floors for a very long time. And now I do, gosh, I used to teach 4 aerobic classes a day. It's a wonder my knees still holding out, but they are. But I don't run. I don't jump. Everything's walking and then weight-bearing exercises. That's just what I find really important. Yeah. Yummy, Katerina. Absolutely, with cacao. Oh, I love it. And every now and then when I think a little bit of sweetness to it, I add some rice malt syrup. Yum. That's when I'm being very decadent. Oh, feel deprived now. Yeah, absolutely. Susan, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's hope this too shall pass. All right, my lovely friends. If there's no more questions or comments, thank you for being on the show today. Do have a lovely, lovely Easter, no matter where you are. As I mentioned in the show notes, you know, like this Easter may be really stressful for you. One, if you're getting together with family, haven't been together for a while, and everybody might have different opposing viewpoints on certain things. Remember my YouTube channel, YouTube/Sally Thibault. I've got heaps of videos, heaps of EFT videos on there on my YouTube channel that can help you get through that. And for those who are not with family like us this year, again, I mean, this is our 5th or 6th Easter on our own. Again, never mind. That's also stressful. So however way you're going to spend Easter this year, I hope that you feel you're able to get through it. And remember to do that EFT tapping if it gets too much for you, just the stress and the overwhelm. Well, fast this Friday, Susan. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, that's what good for. God, isn't that funny? That just really reminded me of my Catholic school days. We used to fast all the time on Good Friday. Isn't that funny? It just went bing when you said that then. And we had fish and chips at night. Isn't that interesting? It's an old thing. I don't know what everyone's getting all fussed about as if it's something new. It's not. It's just what happened in the meantime. Interesting enough, a great book I'm reading at the moment. They were talking about I don't know who, dietitians got in the middle and said we need 6 small meals a day. Somehow that became law. It's not. It's not. It is just the way it is from now on in. All right. I'm over time, well over time. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter, everybody. I'll see you next Wednesday on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show, where I'll say it's 12 o'clock everywhere as daylight savings finishes this week in Australia. Quite a few people are very pleased that that is happening. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter, and I'll see you on next week's show on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. Bye for now.